Hello everybody. I'm trying to make a video here for Wartune and how to do time portal, to be specific. There's a lot of videos out there that show how to do different things in time portal, but not all of them have everything that you need in one video. So I'm going to try and combine everything into one video to show you how to do time portal. And to start with, we're going to start with the basic reset. I'm trying to use up all our death zone bosses attempts. So right now I don't have one, so I'm gonna go ahead and purchase one so I have it, so I can show it to you. And to start with, we're gonna start with the basic setup. So what we want to do here is get as much damage done as we can in as little attempts as possible. So we'll select our Wind Ranger. We're only gonna have his cursed arrow on, and I'm also using as my secondary Blood Warrior, and we're only using Menace on him for additional damage. We're gonna put whatever sylph we want on this guy and our main sylph. If you have a Odin, Thor, or any actually sylph that has damage booster on here as a passive will do fine. So for you demons, we're only doing the damage skills, so they're not doing anything else. On Wind Ranger, you can also use this one, this Delphic here, that boosts M damage by 50%. So actually it's reducing M damage by 50%, but there are other benefits that you can, other buffs you can use, like on someone like on the Blood Demon, you can use the Delphic that also gives you damage booster. So here we have a Delphic that will boost it by 16% damage, or we can also use Sacrifice to get 35% damage booster. It don't matter what you use, but whatever is your preference, whatever you use right now, you can use those to get things started. So what you want to do is have two Eudaemons that give you additional damage booster, a Sylph that gives you a passive with 5% damage booster, and then you want to set up your Titans like this. Your first Titan will be the critical one, so you want the crit to be the first thing that happens. Your last Titan will be the Moon Guardian, and I'll explain later why do we need it that way. This one will give us maximum damage basically on our second turn, and this will help us survive. So for our skills, we're gonna go with the standard skills. We're gonna put Rage Rune. I'm gonna put Brutality Rune. Brutality we'll use to start with. Rage Rune we'll use to get more damage out of the boss. So that's our setup for now. So first thing we're going to do is whenever you log into Time Portal, you get the free weekly reset right here, the blue button. I already used that a few times today. So right now, as you can see, all my sylphs are dead. I don't have anything used up here, no rewards collected, but I can still reset this for free. So if I do this reset, it will not charge me 4,000 balance. It will let me reset everything back. To get maximum out of our Deathbone bosses, what we're going to do is just run some random sylphs, something weak, something that's not strong and won't bug you down too much, against the Triple S boss. He will kill them very fast in one shot, but he also give us a better chance to get Death Zone boss. At least from this guy, I've been getting more bosses than from the other ones. So every time you fight the boss, you have a chance to summon Death Zone boss, and the more basically you just want 3 sylphs to go die fast. So every time you get in and out, there's a chance to trigger a boss. So that's why we're using weak sylphs. As long as you don't collect any rewards, you'll be able to do this as many times as you need. So if you'll see me do this once right now, we're gonna go in, get our first sylph up. It's going to attack, it's going to die very fast, and then we'll see if any bosses have been found. So in this case, nothing was happening, nothing found. Death boss zone is not there, so we're just gonna keep on doing this until we get a death zone boss, and then you'll see what I do in my sequence to get it down nice and fast and get it all into one single attempt. So no dev one, let's keep trying. Okay, another one goes down fast. We get lucky. Nope. So we didn't get lucky. We didn't get one. So we'll go ahead and use our reset again. Gonna pick different cells, so it doesn't matter which ones. We just want to attack and die fairly fast so we can get this done in somewhat of a decent time frame. Okay, it goes down. No death boss. Okay, keep going. Maybe this one will get lucky. Okay, no luck here. Let's keep going. And there's our boss. So now that we have our boss, you want to use all your attempts as much as possible to get the maximum rewards. Basically, you can still get away with doing a half life attack on this guy and get the rewards that you're looking for. So in our case, we have this jailer. If we take half of his life away in one attempt, then you should be able to still claim 10 orbs on that. If you do less than half a life, so you need to do like 51% damage, so you have to be the first one to get 51% damage in to get the maximum reward. Anybody else that gets in on this boss and tries to kill it will get smaller reward. So how are we going to kill this guy? So we're going to go ahead and attack him, and our setup with the 2 extra damage boosters and the damaging self in our skills should allow us to do it. So in the key here basically is your Moon Guardian, because this will keep you alive when it gets to the 5th turn, and boss kills everybody instantly, but Moon Guardian will absorb the damage and leave us and keep us alive. And this is our damage booster, simply put. So we're gonna go ahead and attack it. So we're gonna use our Brutality rune to start with. We're gonna use one of the Delphics we have. Let the pets hit it, and we drop a big one on it. Alright, and we're gonna go ahead and just continue. Get another hit in. It depends on how much rage you have, but you get the idea. You want to get in, get as much damage done in the first few turns as possible, and you want to use the rage rune, get it back up for a quicker damage. Now our Moon Guardian kicks in, so we're right next to, yeah, there was the attack that usually kills everybody. So now we're back in for the second 5-round attack. So at this point I just do damage and then go up immediately, because I have a Thor and I can take him down fairly quickly with him before we reach our last turn. Now we got additional bonus damage on him and a bleed, and now he's gonna go down. Ooh, we failed on the crit, so crits are important. So there we go, we just failed on the crit. So you kind of have to be a little bit lucky here to get all the crits in. Sometimes you don't, and you just go ahead and kill it again. If you don't want to kill it again, you just share it and let the other people get some rewards on it. So that's how we do Death Zone in one shot. Since we did not collect any rewards yet, we can still go ahead and do our time portal. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to do my real attempt, where I'm going to use all my stronger selves to get some damage done. So we're going to start with our Odin. And what I do here is, I know I can clear C fairly efficiently, but sometimes my Odin is low on life. So I'm going to use E to recover that life. So we're just gonna go ahead, get some shots in on this boss, and see how well we do. If he is too low on life, my Odin is fairly strong right now, so he won't be in too much of a trouble here, because he's going to be able to get it done fairly efficiently without too much trouble. Yeah, except for the stunts that can get you. So I'm going to clear this guy out and then see how well I can do for next attack. We're going to just do a lot of damage here. Okay, I've got a crit, that's nice. And I'll put some heals on. And you want to use your skills as efficiently as you can, so kind of get familiar with the timers on them and see how they interact. So for Odin it's very easy with my setup, because I can always start with the big Delphic and then go back to Devour Soul, and then I can use Divine for extra damage if I needed to, and then come back to Devour Soul because the timer will be done, and then I can shift between other skills to get me closer to the next skill. So basically I'm trying to use every skill I can in a sequence that gets me basically no auto attacks done. So in this case I got stunned a couple of times, everything's thrown off a little bit, but we should be able to kill him without too much trouble. There we go. So now he's down, and my Odin did pretty good, so we have plenty of health. But if you have a pet that's like Odin, or you can use a Hecate, or you can use any other weaker sylph, non-merged sylph that can heal itself. I would not recommend using Friggas or any healer or the water pets or the wind pets, because they do not recover health well, and they do not have a whole lot of damage they're doing. So you want to go with a Odin or a Thor. If you have Thor, then make sure you have at least one passive from the water. It's the water sword, I think, or it's water something. Hold on, let me check here. Where's my self? There you are. So let's go to Odin. Let's go to skill. So you want to have the water one, this one, blessed water, that gives you a chance to recover some HP when you're using Thor. So you want to make sure you use this guy and have him at least with this passive on to be able to have a chance to recover and last as long as you can. My Odin is fairly strong, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you. So if you have a Hecate, for example, and you did C or you did D, and you took some damage and you're halfway down, but E should not be too much of a problem for you. So you should be able to go into E and just simply clear this guy out and use all heal skills on him to keep him full health as long as possible. Or if you're able to get it down fairly fast, then you just want to attack it and recover as close to full HP as you can. It might take some practice. Again, we're using skill cooldowns here, going back and forward, and I'm gonna take this guy down fairly fast. He's not too much of a challenge for me, but we're gonna go ahead and just keep healing ourselves so we stay at full health. But you get the idea. Basically, you want to go ahead, get in on this guy, do some damage, and make sure you're healing yourself every time you can, so your HP is always at maximum or close to it. So once you get rid of the weaker sylph, then you can go back and do a stronger sylph again. So you can attack the sea portal, for example, and get your second attempt in to recover to get the points for clearing it. Again, we're gonna start with our cooldowns. We're gonna start with the longest ones and then switch to the shorter ones, so we have them kind of in rotation. So by the time I get this skill done, my Delphic is halfway recovered, and now we get a stun. So we're gonna use our next skill, drop it on him, and then go back to Delphic so we can do reset on it. So it gets a cooldown here, and then we go back to our Dwarf Soul and use this one because it gives you the most heal as a last chance, as a last skill, last resort skill. since we're doing pretty good, we don't have to use it. But we can go ahead and use it actually right now because we don't have anything else that we can use. And we're gonna go back into our, see how it now resets. So we're back into Divine, into Delphic, into Heal. So we can use all these three skills in kind of a rotation and keep our Odin attacking basically non-stop with some kind of a damage done to the Sylph here. And that's our goal. We need to get rid of him as fast as we can, because this, when he gets to this point, he starts doing an insane amount of damage, and that can really rip a Sylph apart. In our case, we're just gonna clear him. So now we actually can see we have like maybe a quarter of HP lost. So now we can go back to our weaker boss and clear him all out and get him back to full HP. So we'll start with the heal this time, put a damage booster on him, and go back into our rotation and get our Odin going to full damage potential. So there we go. Now he's gonna get fairly low. Now we got our heal back up, so we can heal. Put it on cooldown, use our big heal to get more HP out of this. And now we can just finish him off. We have a bleed, so basically virtually no damage gonna be done to us. And our heal just came back up. Perfect. So that's how you can plan to do your time attacks. You want to start with the best one you can deal with, and then go ahead and come back to the weaker one, so you can go back and forward and heal yourself, and then heal yourself here, and then attack here, heal yourself here, attack here. If you're not able to do that, you can do a suicide run. And by suicide run, here's what I mean. Say, you know, since I have somewhat strong seals here, I'm gonna have to attack like a point or maybe an S point and see how far I can get. And again, I'm not collecting any rewards, so I'm not losing my attempt. If I fail at any point and I don't like the way things are going, I'm just gonna reset it and start from scratch. So this is a good, useful tool to test out your limits. You want to go out here and try and attack as as hard of a boss as you can, and still keep yourself somewhat alive, and then come back to a weaker stage and re-heal it. So in this case, we're gonna do a suicide run, and suicide run is done like this. So you take a sylph, not your strongest, maybe you maybe take something like a Thor, for example, and you're gonna go and say, okay, I'm gonna attack a point and do a suicide run. So you cleared your easiest ones, you still have some sylphs left. So you say you clear E and you want to attack D. How do you attack D so you get the rewards out of it? Basically, this is how you do it. You will pick a boss you're gonna attack. You're gonna start with Thor for this example, or any damaging sylph you have. So you're gonna start out and start smacking it as soon as you can. And the goal here is to take as much life off of it as you can in this first attempt as possible. And so the more damage you can do, the better. And since this is a Thor, he's gonna take some serious damage as well from the boss. So you want to make sure if you have 3 Delphics or more, you want to get them out as fast as you can, and maybe use some intermediates one for additional buff. But in this case, he's not gonna survive for very long. He's gonna lose a lot of HP, and we know he's going to die. So we're just gonna use his best and strongest skill we got to get some damage done. In this case, we were able to get 2 bars off of the boss. Well, almost 2 bars. And that's fine. The bosses in a time portal, they do not recover HP. So now we're gonna go ahead and grab our Frigga and go with Frigga. Again, we're gonna do same approach. We're gonna pop a buff to protect ourselves. We're gonna try and use our fast cooldown skills first, so we'll get them back as soon as we can for additional damage, and then we're gonna go for the bigger skills that are slower in recovery. So with Frigga, this might take a little bit, since she's not doing too much of a damage, and she's mainly a support pet which heals and shields you quite a bit of time. So in this case, we're just gonna do all our damage skills and put a heal back on, so we have more time to waste. So our goal is to get as much life off of him as we can before he kills us. So with Frigga, it's kind of nice, you can shield and heal yourself for some of it, so you waste more time and take more life from him. But it's not really good for your approach here, because the cooldowns are gonna kill you on this one. They take in a while, and it will be quite a bit of time before you can actually do some meaningful damage. So having those support skills is nice. You can recover some HP, you can waste some more time. So now that the boss is going into rage mode, he's going to be dealing a hell of a lot more damage. So I'm gonna go back up and shield up as soon as we can, get some damage done on this guy that way. So we're gonna try and clear that's not good. We're stunned. So one thing with Frigga, the wave tsunami, is actually removing the debuffs on you. So you can attack with that and get rid of it, and then you can heal yourself again, or do whatever you need to do to stay alive for a little bit longer. So in this case, we got wiped out, but the boss is down to very last bar. So that's how you initiate your suicide run. Now you go back to your strongest self, and now you go and finish him off basically. So now that he's down to very little HP, we're just gonna try and output as much damage as we can on this guy, so he goes down fast and furious style. There we go. So now he's gone. And we did kill off two of our sylphs, but we did get a whole 50 points out of this attempt. So when you run into issues where you cleared everything you can and your next boss is giving you trouble, you cannot kill it, you should try this approach. You should try with your weaker sylphs, attack, and get as much damage done before you're gonna bring out your best sylph. And you can also, of course, switch the equipment around. So if you have a good set on, say, your strongest sylph, you can move it to your weaker sylph for this attempt. So once they're dead, you can move it to the next sylph and then back to your stronger sylph, so you get maximum damage out of them. That will give you additional bonuses. So don't forget the free reset. The free reset. See right here, I have 130 points right now, but I'm not happy with this. So I'm going to go ahead and use the reset to basically reset everything back to the square one. So now I can start again. I will select my sylphs, in the order I want them, and now I know that I can clear A fairly well. It will cost me 2 sylphs, but I can still have my Odin back and alive, so I can clear this out as well. So what you can do is you can clear out the 2 stages or 1 stage that you can, and then go for the next stage as a suicide run and see how far you can get. And this reset lets you attempt that, basically. It lets you test it out, so you can go ahead and get it done and then figure out what you want to do or how you want to attack this. Maybe you can go to C next time, or D, or you can test out, if you can hit the B portal or something like that with your dev zone. But make sure you clear out all your dev boss zones first, so that this doesn't get in your way, so you're not dependent on this and this to be run at the same time. Once you have cleared out your dev zone attempts, go ahead and see what you can do this week. Every week, if you can boost your pet up a little bit in damage, pets will go and do more damage and be able to get you further into the time portal. So you can test this strategy and then reset, and then have a solid plan to follow. So that's about all I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you like this, and maybe we'll do some more videos later. Thank you.